Did you ever dream about building your own custom motorcycle with a big fat tire like this? What if I told you it's not that difficult to do on your own? All you need is a little bit of guidance. Follow our channel and we'll show you step by step how to achieve this. Hey guys, welcome back to part 3. Finally, the install of the 300 rear tire. Just beforehand, I just want to apologize in advance because we had some technical issues, sound issues. So we lost the voice. So I'll be doubling on top of the video. Basically, I'll be doing a voiceover to explain to you guys what we're doing because we had absolutely no audio. All right. So we're going to be doing the bike right now. Basically, I just want you guys to know that for the purpose of this video, we took everything apart, reassembled it, but we're going to take it apart again because we're not done with the mod. Just make sure that you Loctite every single one of your bolts with red Loctite and blue Loctite. We didn't do it in this episode because we're going to dismantle it anyways, but make sure that you put blue Loctite or red Loctite. We'll be writing it down in the video where you need to put blue and where you need to put red. All right, guys, so let's get into it. And again, all right, so this is what comes with your kit. Okay, you got all of these things. Everything is labeled, so you'll know where it goes where. Like for example here, this says top shock L. L means left. This is for your spacer. Outside pulley, pivot R means right. Behind pulley, that goes behind your pulley. So as you can see, everything is pretty well labeled. Okay. So we're going to be finishing this bike right now. This is the one that we started with, and we'll show you step by step how to reassemble everything. All right, so the first thing to do is remove these torque bolts. These are torque 40s. Okay, so once you removed your cover, all right, we're going to be replacing the seals that are inside. So you can discard these seals. We're going to provide new seals in your new kit. All right, so in your fat tire kit, you're going to get all these seals. We're going to be using all new seals. So basically, these come all labeled. You're going to use the same size seals that'll go and be right there. Okay, so have a little cup of oil next to you and apply oil with your fingers to the seal and put the seal inside your offset kit just like this. Once you've installed your seal, pass your finger around it. Make sure that your seal is sitting flush with your offset kit. Next, you're going to take this plastic cap and make sure that the groove is going upwards. And just apply it and put it on. You're going to use something that's about the same size to hit it and press it in. Okay, so use gentle taps to make sure that your seal is properly sitting all the way at the bottom. Here's a side view of how your gasket is supposed to be sitting. So it's sit flush with the surroundings. With your finger, apply a little bit of oil inside your offset kit. Use the 6mm provided bolts, these are 6mm Allens, to install your offset kit. Make sure you use red Loctite to put these bolts in. Since we know we're going to be disassembling it, we're not putting any right now, but make sure you put red Loctite. Once you're bolted in and used red Loctite, go ahead and torque them down to 20 pound-feet. It's important to take note that when you're torquing down bolts, you should always go in a diagonal way, which means that you always tighten the opposite side screw. Alright, so then you can locate your short fat bolts and you're going to start placing them one by one. Alright guys, now you can start screwing your bolts on using a 7mm Allen, but do not screw them all the way. Just loosely screw them in because we're going to have to do other steps. So do not tighten, just loosely screw them in. Okay, now with your finger, pre-oil the inside and outside of this part here, provided in your kit. Align the teeth of the gear and gently push it in. Once the gears are aligned properly, gently tap it in. While tapping the flange in with the mallet, you may have loosened a little bit the nuts around. You can go ahead and hand tighten them back again. Now you can go ahead and insert your rubber gasket, and using a pick or a flat tool, make sure that you press it all the way in so that it's sitting flush and sitting properly. Now you can go ahead and tighten your surrounding bolts and make sure that you use the red Loctite and that you torque them to 25 pound-feet. Guys, just please take note that when you're screwing bolts in and you're torquing, always go in a diagonal way, which means that you tighten the bolt on the opposite side. Now you can go ahead and install your front pulley, and using the 3 bolts, you'll tighten them in. Once your bolts are tight, you're going to have to torque them to 70 pound-feet of torque. Alright guys, for this step, you're going to need some kind of mechanism to lock your pulley. We use this, it's called a pulley lock. If you need us to provide you one, you can contact us, we sell this product. Okay guys, now you can go ahead and torque the middle bolt. You have to torque it to 118 pound-feet of torque. Okay guys, now you're going to want to take your locking mechanism, and you see all these little nipples on the sides. You're going to use a vice grip and you're going to flatten them out. Basically, you want it to be round. You don't want any sharp edges or anything. You want it to be completely round. Alright guys, so as you can see, everything is round now. There's no more sharp edges. There's no more triangular shape. Now use a proper size socket to push it in. Now, using a flathead screwdriver, bend the metal in place so that it locks in. Now you can go ahead and insert your bolt cover. It's a plastic cover that's already on your bike, so you'll reuse the same. Alright guys, so in your kit you're going to get a wider swing arm, and this is what you're going to need to be able to fit your bigger wheel and bigger tire. The swing arm comes with its own axle and its own pivot kit. Alright guys, so here's where the camera lost battery, and that we went ahead and installed the swing arm, but the camera was not recording. So here's a quick briefing. We have to install those spacers, and we put the axle just through. Alright guys, so in order to install the pivot, basically you use on the right side, which is the brake side, you use the spacer that's provided in the kit, and on the clutch side, which is the left side, you use your OEM spacer and the one that we provided in your kit. And guys, please make sure that when you're tightening everything, you torque it at 118. So we have these two bags. We have this one that's the pivot left with OEM. So the OEM is the little silver that you see right there, the silver one, and the black one is here. The black one is provided, which is called pivot left with OEM, which is the clutch side. On the other side, we have the pivot R, which is pivot right. So as you're putting your axle in, you're going to put on the left side, we're putting the OEM spacer, and then we're putting the one that's provided with the kit. On the other side, only the black, which is provided with the kit. All right, guys, so the next step is to put the spacer that's provided in your kit, and then you're going to put your rubber seal that's already on your bike on top. Press it firmly and press it in place. All right, guys, so inside your gasket, it's going to be written pulley side. That's the side that's going to go up. That's the side that's going to be towards the pulley. Okay, so in our case, we had our pulley powder coated black. So obviously there's a little bit of added texture on it. So we're going to use a little bit of grease just in order to be able to bring the pulley sitting on the gasket. Obviously with powder coat, there's a little bit of added thickness. Alright, so in order to keep everything in mint condition, we're going to be taping the whole side of the wheel, and we're also going to be taping the pulley. And in our case, we have black ceramic brakes, so we're going to be taping the brakes also. Okay, one thing to keep in mind is when you're installing your discs, only bolt on one bolt, because we're going to have to loosen it up later on in order to be able to pivot the disc so that we can install the brake caliper. So only install one bolt on the disc. All right, so the next step obviously is to protect the swing arm as well. So we're going to be taping it as much as we can so that there's no scratches or any dents. All right, guys, so the next step will be to carefully introduce the wheel inside the swing arm. And you got to give it a little bit of angle because you have your disc on one side and you have your pulley on the other. All right, guys, quickly give a little wipe down on your brake caliper bracket. There's a lot of dirt and oils that accumulates there. So if you already have it in your hands, why not clean it? All right, so now gently pass the hose from the brake line under the swing arm and just leave it hanging there for now. Then place your ABS sensor right after you're going to install your caliper bracket. Using a tool, align everything so that it doesn't move for now. And once everything is in place, go on the left side and place the small spacer in between your pulley and your swing arm, and then slide your axle through the wheel for it to come out on the other side. Gently tap, and once it's tapped out, you can completely put it in. Now you can loosen that one bolt that you had put in for the disc. Don't undo it, just loosen it so that you can swing the disc down, and that from over you can put your brake caliper in. And once your brake caliper is in, you can go ahead and replace the disc in its position and put all the bolts in now. Don't forget to use blue Loctite. Now you can go ahead and move on the other side, and it's time to install your belt. So simply just make sure that your belt tensioner is loose, and you can go ahead and remove your masking tape for now, and you're going to press on the wheel forward in order to be able to install your belt. As you can see, your belt is way too loose right now, so you're going to have to turn your belt tensioner in order to stiffen it out, and you'll have to test it around and see how's the stiffness. There's no precise measure for this, but you should be able to move your belt up and down about an inch. Now go ahead and reassemble your shocks. Don't forget that you have specific spacers for specific shocks. Everything's going to be labeled on the bags. So if there's going to be a different size spacer for the left side top, there's no spacer for the left side bottom, and that there's going to be one for the right side top and a different one for the right side bottom. You can go ahead and use the same bushings on your pulley cover, except you're going to be using longer screws that are provided in your kit. So you just pull on the bushings and they come apart, and then you're going to be able to put your longer bolts through those same bushings. And there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. You've now successfully completed your Fat Tire 300 rear install on your V-Rod. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned for more DIY builds and custom mods. Take care.